Welcome back to the Shine Within podcast. With nearly 3 decades of experience, Ani Papazyan stands at the forefront of pain resolution, specializing in empowering individuals, particularly women, to conquer body pain and reclaim their lives. Emphasizing the importance of personalized wellness, Ani tailors solutions based on each person's unique genetic makeup. Through her extensive knowledge and expertise, she offers a range of self-help techniques and transformative strategies, enabling her clients to manage their pain effectively. Understanding the frustration and challenges faced by those seeking relief, Ani is dedicated to providing actionable steps that help people take control of their pain and live vibrantly again. Her commitment to improving lives through pain management has made her a sought-after practitioner in the field. Wow, welcome, Ani. It's so nice to have you on my show today.
Hello, Gina. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. And yes, pain. I was just talking to you about the pain that I've experienced, especially in early phases of recovery after my drinking. And I just had experienced the most horrendous pain ever. But luckily, I'm getting better and better at stretching and doing different techniques. And I'm so happy to have you on the show so you can share everything. But can you start by sharing a little bit about your background and how your experiences, especially the challenging ones like the 1988 earthquake in Armenia, have shaped your journey to becoming a pain relief expert?
Well, thank you. Yes, it's when you hear some people's stories, and then I think of mine, I'm like, okay, yeah, it was tough, but nothing compared to what some people have gone through. But for everyone, our story is the most challenging because we went through it.
Yes.
So in 1988, December 7th, that's when my life just completely changed. Not just because we lost our home and we lived in our garage for 3 years, but what that transition that meant for me. From that day, materialistic things mean absolutely nothing to me. And I think it was, how they say, for everything you go through in life, there is a lesson.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, it's what's the lesson in this, and how is that going to help me moving forward? And the biggest thing for me was materialistic things mean absolutely nothing. As long as I'm healthy, I can do anything I want. So living in our garage for 3 years, that's where actually I finished my college, where I got my bachelor's in kinesiology. I also studied medical massage. And fun fact, I was a volleyball player. I played volleyball for Armenian national team for 5 years. And so with my family, we moved here in 1992 in January, a month after I turned 22. I know some of your audience right now doing a math in their head. I'm 54, and English was not one of the languages I studied back home. It was Armenian, Russian, French. Even though in my family, my dad spoke English, my sister's school, her third language was English. So coming to the country where the culture is day and night, completely different, not speaking the language, and right after college, you're like, okay, what am I going to do? What career path am I going to take? So it was a lot at the beginning. That's why I think my early 20s kind of a little hazy. Like, I don't really remember that well, my early 20s, because it was just like way too much stress. But I took since in college, when I studied kinesiology and then medical massage, and being an athlete, constantly injuring yourself and overcoming it, just the pain resolution was a passion. So I don't come from like, oh, I was in pain and then I figured out or found a solution, but it was purely, especially learning how so many people are told by their doctors, your body pain is normal for their age, or living with pain becomes their new norm. It just becomes part of their daily being, who they are. And that is so frustrating to me, because I know there are solutions. Maybe my solution is not the one for you, but there are solutions and you always should look and find it. So that's where my passion comes from.
That's amazing. And yes, about the going back to the material things, I feel the same way. I used to be all about the worldly things, especially in the lifestyle that I was living in, going out places, who was seeing me, how did I have to dress, who was I talking to? Oh, am I talking to this person? Oh, they have a higher status. I'm important now. And I'm so happy that I don't think those anymore at all. Like, I'm so content with just the simplest things in life bring me so much joy. And I'm sure you noticed that too. You're just like, what is the material things? We don't need it. It's just little things like that bring me joy. And of course, not being in pain brings me joy as well. And I actually went to a National Holistic Institute in San Jose over here, and I studied massage therapy. And we did a whole bunch of kinesiology. We had to obviously do kinesiology. We had this huge kinesiology section here, and I had to like learn the insertions and all of those, and I had to memorize them. It was so much fun, and I had created such a passion for like helping people, because I think a lot of people these days go to painkillers as the solution, when actually the solution should be different techniques that our bodies are incredible. They can actually, they let us know like, hey, something's going on here. Do you check this out? Like if I'm in pain, I'm like, okay, I need to like do some workouts like to strengthen the muscles that are on like my lower back. So I'll have like a little workout mini session while, I'm watching either TV with my husband or with the kids are around. I'll have to like set up my mat and like start strengthening my body, and it actually helps. But you created about 5 short videos offering self-help techniques for body pain issues. What inspired you to actually develop these, and how do you think they can benefit our listeners?
So there are, these 5 ones just kind of addresses 5 main like body parts: your neck, your back, your systemic inflammation, which is the most of the main contributing factor for your overall chronic pain. Inflammation is the source of it. And then lymphatic drainage. Or sometimes I have clients ask me, do I use ice or heat? Which one do I use and when? So I thought, okay, these are going to be like a 2 to 3 media. I think the longest video is like 4 minutes, but daily you get these short videos for 5 days. And it's filled with techniques where I share self-help technique with you, or you have a downloadable PDF or step-by-step how to do a dry brushing for lymphatic drainage. That it's gonna put you kind of on a path of, because I don't know like your specific pain or the source of the pain, but at least this will give you a few techniques that you can use it yourself, or you can share with someone. Like, one day I woke up in the morning to an email from a client. She said her son woke her up in the middle of the night with neck pain. And she goes, I remember a couple of the techniques you taught me. I walked him through it and it worked. Wow. She was so proud of herself and so excited that she was able to help her son because those techniques I taught her.
Wow.
And that's what I love, just teaching you. Maybe you don't need to use them today, but when you know it, it's like in your toolbox. When someone needs it, you can just pull it out and use it. So that's why I love, and I love to share that information.
Oh yeah, success stories are amazing. And when you're helping somebody, it just brings you so much joy inside. It's like, yes, and then because you're able to share exactly what you taught them to their loved one, their child, or whoever is around them that needs help. Exactly. Now, can you give us an overview of these 5 body pain hacks, and perhaps share like a couple of key techniques that our listeners can actually apply immediately for pain relief?
Yeah. So, okay. The heat and ice, it's usually generally we use, ice if it's an acute injury, even though there are some studies in the last few years that says, yeah, it immediately may help, but in the long run, it may delay the recovery process. So I have the clients do more contracts, heat ice, which works better. Unless if it's a nerve pain, then you do need to use the ice to compress the nerve so it doesn't hurt until you figure out how to fix it, because it's not a, solution to cure. It's just almost like a first aid. But I want to share with your audience a technique for, neck pain is one of the main things that I see in my clinic. And it would be, let's say you slept funny or something happened, you have difficulty turning your neck side to side. And this technique is a simple technique that you can use. So imagine you have difficulty turning your head to the right. Okay. What you're going to do is either you can use your finger on your left hand, you put your finger so your eyes only looking at your finger far left. And as you're looking at your finger, you're slowly turning your head to the right. Yeah, make sure you're always looking at your finger.
Oh, always looking at the finger. Okay.
Yeah, and so your eyes are like far, no, the
Ah,
opposite.
this way.
And make sure you're looking
Oh,
at,
I see.
yeah. And
Like
you can
this
move your
peripheral.
finger. Yeah, you
Oh,
can move
okay.
your finger a little bit,
I
but
see.
constantly keep looking at your finger and turn your head to the right.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like that.
Ah, oh, yeah. I feel
Okay,
that.
so it comes a point, whenever you turn your head somewhere, your eyes want to follow, but you're trying to do the opposite. So it comes a point when sometimes clients say, I feel these weird things in my head or behind my eyes. I'm like, yes, because you're forcing what's not natural for your body. The eyes to go the opposite direction where your head is going. But that's what helps you increase that range of motion.
Oh, wow.
Just repeat that about 4 or 5 times. One day I got a text from a client. She has 6 children, 6 or 7 children. And she's like, we're driving in Texas and my daughter woke up and she cannot turn her neck. Is there anything you can do? I'm like, can you hop on a video call? So she hopped on a video call. Exactly this technique I walked her through. About 3 or 4 times she was repeating, and you could see right away at least 50% increase in her range of motion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this technique works. Similar techniques like that, they're weird, but they work. And that's what I have in those 5 body pain hacks.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to be doing that one. And then I'm going to tell you, hey, Ani, this feels so much. My neck feels so much better because I get a stiff neck because I sleep on my stomach and my neck is always on the right, like this.
Oh boy, yeah,
that's
that's not the best position to sleep in.
right.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know if maybe it's been like that since maybe I was a baby, always on my stomach. I don't know, but that's the only way I can fall asleep. It's weird. Maybe I should look into like some sort of like support or like some type of pillow that wouldn't help. But
I
I
was
don't even
actually
know.
going to say put maybe like a pillow or something under your belly so it lifts it, so your back doesn't go like this, doesn't arch when you're sleeping, or don't use any pillow. But if you can try to use a little pillow under your belly that lifts your lower back up a little bit, so it's not a opposite arch, it's the other way.
Yeah.
Maybe that will help. I know I used to be a belly sleeper. I loved sleeping on my belly. Now I may do like a few minutes and then I can feel my back unless I push one of my pillows under my belly to lift me up a little bit.
That's right. It actually helps with the hips too. It feels good.
Yes.
When you lift them
definitely.
up a little bit. Yeah, the arch. Yeah. I love that. Well, thanks so much for sharing that. Now, I'm a big fan of the Jacksons, going from the Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson, of course, Janet Jackson. Now, you've worked with Janet Jackson as her massage therapist. How did this opportunity arise, and what was it like traveling the world with this beautiful woman who is an amazing artist here?
I call my paid vacation because I did her Velvet Rope World Tour 98, 99.
Oh, wow.
And it was amazing. I was working at the chiropractic office. I was in America only very few years. And working at the chiropractic office, and I know the doctors had this client, had this patient who I knew she was a dancer, but I had no idea what caliber dancer she was. So when she come to the office, I would work on her. And then one day I get a phone call from a gentleman saying Tina Landon, she was Janet choreographer for several of her different tours. And that Tina Landon referred me to a person. They didn't give me any name. I got to go to Malibu. This is the address, but there is no number on the house. So if I see this address and this address, the White House in between with no number on it, that's the house I'm going to. And I'm thinking, good thing I trust Tina, because that's crazy, you know? So I go there, someone opens the door and they show me the room. I set up and everything, and I'm waiting. And all of a sudden, this like a petite little shy person with a soft voice walks in. And I'm in my head, it's Janet. So I start working on her. And then after a while, I get a phone call from one of her managers saying, would you like to go on a tour with her? I'm like, yes. But what was so interesting that, coming from Armenia, as soon as with my family, we moved, the Soviet Union collapsed. Well, I was a citizen of Soviet Union. When Soviet Union collapsed, yes, I had my green card in America, but I wasn't a citizen of any country. I didn't have any citizenship. So they had to get for me this thing called white passport, get visa for every country we went to, so I could travel with them. And I'm so grateful that they did, even though Japan said they denied my visa because they said I was born in Soviet Union, I'm a communist. And I'm like, I'm not. So when I went to Australia, Sydney, Australia, I went to Japanese consulate and I ended up getting my visa. But it was amazing experience. I love her. I was fortunate enough to spend a lot of time with her because I had to stay the same hotels as she did. And then in the show, I watched, I think, over 100 of her shows. And then in a backstage, hang out with her at her dressing room, and so many fun stories. And then when we did the 4 months of US, I was on her bus. So constantly, traveling, hanging out. It was awesome. It was a great experience. I loved it.
That is amazing. Oh, that's so fun that you can actually share that. Like, yeah, I was touring with Janet Jackson. Who says that? That's so awesome that you can say that.
It was fun.
Yeah. And so in your approach to pain relief, you talk about empowering your journey through pain-free living. Can you explain what this means and how someone can start this journey?
Well, I think one of the first things is how you look at your pain. Some people, they use their pain as a crutch, as an excuse, like to look at them, poor me. So one of the first things is changing your mindset. Like about a month and a half ago, I injured my knee, which I'm going through, I'm treating myself, but I'm also going through, like MRI to see what kind of damage I did. But I'm concentrating on it's going to go away. Doesn't matter. I've had injuries. I've had shoulder injury, ankle injuries, lower back injuries. It's all gone away. I know it's going to go away. So the first thing is your mindset that it's going to go away. And then the other thing is being proactive. Like I eventually went to a doctor because I wanted to know, did I do any structural damage? Is there any tears, anything? Because usually I can get rid of my pain very quickly, but it's been going on over a month and it's still there. Mm-hmm. So the first thing doctor says, I can give you prescription medication and injection. And I'm saying, I'm a pain specialist for 30 years. Prescription medication, I get it for anti-inflammatory for pain. But injection for what? You don't know what it is. What are you going to give me injection for? So her thing was, go wait a month, do whatever you're doing. If it's still there, come back. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. So I requested another doctor. And right away, she's like, I'm going to send you to emergency X-ray, emergency MRI. So I did the x-ray, waiting for the call to book the MRI. But be proactive in your health. Don't just sit back. It's your body, it's your health. Do some research. Don't take someone's word for it. My whole thing is why I love educating people is for you to make informed decisions and not based on what if I just based my decision and said the first doctor, let's give you injection. It's like, how they say throwing something against the wall and hoping something sticks. We don't know, but be proactive in your own health and find the solutions and make informed decisions and ask questions. Always ask questions.
Absolutely. And I was just thinking, a lot of the times whenever I'm in pain, it's because I'm not exercising. Our bodies are meant to move as human beings. We're meant to move, not just to be sedentary, like here at a desk all day. We're meant to move our body, to move around. We're not supposed to be sitting just sedentary. Just mentioning it's like, we need to move our body. So my favorite spot to move my body is outside where I'm getting the sun, the fresh air, and especially when I'm doing like hiking. I love that. And I notice that my body pain tends to go away when I'm exercising. Do you ever experience that too at all? Like when
Well,
you're
definitely, being an athlete, and then I was a runner. I did marathon, obstacle course races, trail races, and then all of a sudden I just lost my interest in exercising and running. And this was the same time I was going through menopause. So I put on a lot of weight. But now, it's also a lot of times people, when you say exercising, it's like, I work 9 to 5. I come home, kids, husband, everything else. I don't have time to go to the gym. And that's when it's like, okay, you got to change your mindset of, when I'm making my morning latte in the morning, as I'm waiting for my latte to make, in my kitchen, I do 20 counter push-ups, or I do 15 to 20 squats. And then because I do a lot of Zoom meetings, when I'm, let's say, taking a break from a computer, watching TV or something, I just got this mini trampoline that is in front of my TV. I just get on my mini trampoline and I'm jogging or gently bouncing on it, it's great for your joints because it's soft. It's not hard on your joints. Mm-hmm. And then it increases your lymphatic drainage. And I'm jogging on it. If you're going to watch TV, might as well, gentle jogging. But so a lot of times we think, oh my God, we have to go to the gym. We have to do an hour of exercise, or I have to lift this heavy weight. You don't.
Right.
And yeah, I love what you said, getting outside, getting that sun, because these days we just spend so much time inside. And I'm in Los Angeles, we have, even like today, it's sunny, gorgeous, 65 degrees. But so many people, when I look at their blood works, they're deficient in vitamin D. Imagine if you're living in the States when there's like no sun, it's constantly raining, so get outside. You said your body releases those endorphins, the happy hormones that helps your body heal itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so true. Yes, vitamin D is good. Like just going for a walk. It doesn't have to be like a brisk walk, just going out for a walk. Just a little bit of movement helps tremendously.
Yes.
And yeah, so you've mentioned the concept of a genetic blueprint for healthy, vibrant living. How does understanding our genetic makeup play a role in managing body pain and actually like overall wellness?
So as a functional nutritionist, I attend a lot of workshops and seminars. So I'm at this webinar one day where the guest speaker, this doctor, she's analyzing the webinar host genetic report. And I was in awe. I was like, I want to study that. Yeah. So as humans, we share 99.9% exact same DNA. Like you and I have 99.9% exact same DNA, but only 0.1% that is different. That's what makes us unique. That's what makes us genetically, when I eat food, it goes very fast into fat, but at the same time, why I'm really good at different sports. It's because of my genes, you know, or some people have more tendency that even though they eat healthy, they exercise, they still have high cholesterol because of their genes. So knowing your genetic makeup, how your body reacts to foods you eat, the lifestyle choices you make, I create very personalized lifestyle plan. Because as you said, we're already thinking of, okay, we got to eat healthy, we got to exercise, right? So imagine doing all the same thing that you're already doing, but based on your own genetic makeup, knowing how your body reacts to your environment. So it's personalized just for you, not, oh, you know, like my friend did this diet and she lost weight, so I'm going to do that too. Well, it may work, it may not. That's why there are hundreds and thousands of different diet books and different, you know, the new ones comes out constantly. And, you know, now we're on a keto, you know, a trend. Everyone is doing keto, you know, so who knows, a few years ago, it was the vegetarian, you know, or meatless, whatever. But I've had clients when I look at their blueprint and they're vegetarian, I'm like, vegetarian is the worst diet for you. It's the worst diet for you. You should never be a vegetarian based on your genes. So that's when we get all these aha moments, or people like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. I'm not crazy. It's my genes, you know? So yeah, it's fantastic. The cool thing is you do only once. It's not like it's a blood work. You do only once. It's a cheek swab, and then you're done. And then we can dig deeper and deeper because it's so much information.
That is amazing. Yeah, because everybody's different. And like, okay, I was a weight loss consultant for many years, like long time ago. And, you know, it's the program that would work for some people, but it wouldn't work for everybody. And so I'm so happy that you brought that up, because I always questioned, like, some of my friends who are vegetarian, they're actually overweight. And it's like, okay, well, whatever they're eating must not be healthy for them. You know, they may think in their mind, like, oh, I'm not eating meat, you know, but whatever they're eating is still not working. So it would be nice for them to get that cheek swabbed and check their DNA to see, like, wait, what kind of genetic makeup do I have? So that way I can go ahead and have a meal plan that's based on my genetics and what I'm supposed to be eating, instead of having to kind of like choose, like pick and choose which one's going to work for me this month, you know, like those fad diets or the popular diets that they're promoting, you know.
Exactly.
So thanks for bringing that up, because that's definitely a good thing to look into. Yeah, I may even look into this.
Or even sometimes, you know, when people like, I'm not a skinny girl. I've never been skinny. It's just, you know, and for me, it's about health, because I see so many people with gorgeous bodies, and then I look at their, you know, blood work, and it's like, okay, they're so unhealthy inside. But, you know, for people, like when we look at them, it's a human thing, you know, we judge based on their appearance. And you're like, why don't you eat less? But it's like, it's not. They're eating healthy, they're exercising. It's something else. Or not everyone should be size 2 or size 4 or size whatever 6, you know?
Yeah, I've always been like that. Every time I was growing up, I was always comparing myself to the little petite, because I'm not petite. Like, I'm actually bigger structure, you know. And so I feel you on that.
Yeah, me too. I'm never been skinny, but you don't want to mess with me. I'm very strong. I say I'm very strong, and then the crazy kicks in, and that's not a good combo.
I love that. Yeah. Don't mess with Annie, okay?
Yes.
That's so great. No, a lot of people are actually struggling with a lot of chronic pain, whether it's just neck pain, back pain, overall pain. Right now, my husband has an arm pain thing going on his right arm. He's an engineer, so he's constantly on the computer, on the lab, doing different things. What are the first steps you can actually recommend to someone who's wanting to like begin their healing process?
Mhm. So thanks for asking. It's a great question. First thing we have to find out, is it a structural? Is it a muscular issue? Is it an injury? You did something, you picked up something heavy, or you're playing sports. That's the first thing to find out what type of injury it is. Then, is it a systemic inflammation? So do we have to, yes, do the treatments? Let's say in my office, I may do cold lasers or hands-on manual therapy, some type of, either massage or some of the techniques that I use. Or is it, we have to look at your diet, inflammation, anti-inflammatory, or something, is it emotional? Yes, it's outside of scope of my practice because that's not what I'm trained in. But sometimes I'm sure as a massage therapist, when you used to do it, you would see sometimes the emotions can be trapped in certain body parts. Mm-hmm. So you get the sense of it. Oh, it's a structural. Oh no, it's an emotional thing. Something's going on. So sometimes when people come to me, because if you're not in pain, I won't take you as a client. So when people come to my office and I say, when it started, they're like, it just came on. I'm like, well, tell me what was going on in your life at that time, just to give me an idea. Mm-hmm. That is there any emotional component to that pain? But like for your husband, like you said, maybe something anti-inflammatory, doing stretches, looking at his body mechanics. Because a lot of times, last few years, we all have been spending so much more time in front of a computer. I'm sitting on an exercise ball. Mm-hmm. As you can see, sometimes if I'm moving, it's not a chair, it's an exercise ball. It's a 75 centimeter big exercise ball. That's my chair. But sometimes my desk is an adjustable desk. So sometimes, like today, I have five more meetings. After this, I get to, at some of them, I'm going to push the button. It's going to go up and I'm going to stand up. So in some of the meetings. So doing small changes like that, maybe some of my clients, I say, put a timer on your phone, maybe every couple of hours, move around, get up, move around, do a couple of stretches, or right under my desk, I have this exercise lacrosse balls. Mm-hmm. And as I'm sitting, my feet are on it and I'm giving myself reflexology, yes, which has my full body under my feet. So it hits every point. As I'm sitting, working on a computer, my feet are massaging my whole body with this balls. And sometimes I switch it. So each foot gets this pulse, but yeah, I have it right here. So things like that, just the small things, not major, just the small little steps, and they have cumulative effect that is going to help you for sure.
Yes, I actually have those in red, but I only have one though. And I also have those rad balls. And so I'll go on to my, they're like these two blue balls that are kind of infused together like this. And then I'll just put them on my back of my neck and lay down on my mat and kind of like roll up and down and massage like the occipital part, which is normally the lower base of the head. And it feels so good just to get some tension relief, and then I have that cane, massage cane.
Right there, yes. Yeah.
I love all those tools. They help. My mom has even given me like this for the shoulders. It's you wear it, you zip it up. I think I actually wore it at one of my podcasts, and it brings the shoulders back automatically like this. It's like, oh, this is great. Because I'm like always like this, and so kind of put the shoulders back. It forces the shoulders to go back where you have better positioning this way. And those tools help tremendously. I love them. So yeah, thanks for showing those ones on there. They're like little spiky balls. They're so good on the feet.
Used to, but it's awesome. I love it.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Now, so you said you had like 5 meetings after this one. So I'm assuming that you actually not only have your office in Los Angeles, but you also do a virtual meetings as well for clients, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, because it's easy, over Zoom, I can walk someone through different techniques. I can teach different techniques, walk them through, give them suggestions. Genetic testing and the nutrition part is all done online. It's all online. And then I do a lot of like speaking summits, different health summits, speaking. I just became a first-time author. The book is,
Congratulations.
thank you, ready for a pre-order. So I'm very excited about that. And then I'm very slowly working on my own book, hopefully soon start. But yeah, definitely online, because I work with some people, in United States, but also different parts of the world. It's easy, nowadays with online, we can reach so many people. So I love it. I think the, teaching part is my passion. I just so love it because I can reach so many more people.
That is amazing. Yeah. So your book, oh, I gotta see it right there. Business was called Business
Business
Life
and the Universe.
and the Universe. Awesome. I love the colors too. Those are like I love the blues and the greens and spacey stuff. I love spacey stuff. I'm all about that. So lastly, for those interested in learning more about like accessing your resources and also the 5 tips to a pain-free life, how can they find you?
So my website, but also to get to that 5 body pain hacks, I think I sent you the link.
Yeah, I'll put that in the
I'm
show
hoping
notes.
that they will have that link. And if anyone has any questions in those emails, when they get those videos, there is a link for them to, if they can email it to me, or they can book actually complimentary 30-minute session with me.
Amazing.
Those emails for sure, and I'll be happy to help anyone. If there's have any questions, please reach out.
Wonderful. And I will have everything in the show notes. And is there anything else you'd like to share that I perhaps didn't touch on?
Well, just one of the biggest things, one of my favorite quotes is, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Just don't ever learn to live with pain. Just never stop looking for a solution. That's, if you just walk away with one thing, just don't ever learn to live with pain, please. Find a solution. If your doctor says that's normal for your age, find a new doctor. Yes.
That's a great advice. Because it's not, I have some women actually sharing with me that I'm 65 and I feel like in the best health that I've ever felt, even, better than my teenage years, they're sharing. So, I mean, yes, don't listen to the doctors who are saying, oh, it's just with age. No, you can actually get healthier with age.
And the 60s is the new 40s, right?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So you're in your 20s and I'm in my 30s.
Oh, that's right. And you know what? I feel that though too. It's like I feel that. I feel so much healthier now than I did when in my 20s. My 20s, I was miserable, obviously, for
The
those
only
reasons.
thing I can stay up until like 2-3 o'clock in the morning and then function the next day anymore. That just doesn't.
That is hard. Yes, that is challenging. Well, Ani, thank you so much for joining me on my show today. It's a pleasure. And yeah, I'm looking forward to staying in connection with you. And yeah, I love anyone who can help with pain. So thank you so much for what you do.
Thanks for having me, Gina. It was great spending some time with you.
Thank you.